I've been getting these texts from these numbers of different people. They were saying that he was in the hospital and then saying that that he passed away. But then I got a text from him and he seems to be alive. I got a text about, asking if I wanted to go to his funeral. And I think they're trying to lure me somewhere.
It looked like a fairy tale. She had been dating someone for a month, and it had gotten serious fairly quickly. He had some old-fashioned romance about him, buying her flowers and treating her to nice dinners. However, in 2018, University of Utah athlete Lauren McCluskey realized her boyfriend might not be who she thought he was, and worse, that he might be dangerous. She broke up with him and pleaded for help as he stalked and extorted her, but no one listened. This is the case of Lauren McCluskey, a vibrant 21-year-old student athlete whose life was taken when she was shot in the backseat of a car. Welcome back to True Murder Cases. Before we proceed, we want to express our heartfelt condolences to the family and friends of Lauren McCluskey, a young woman whose life was tragically cut short. Lauren McCluskey, born on February 12, 1997 in Pullman, Washington, grew up in a Christian family with parents Joe and Matt McCluskey. Her father was a physics professor at the University of Utah, while her mother taught economics at Washington State University. Lauren's journey began at Pullman High School, where she excelled academically and athletically. From a young age, she displayed remarkable talent in sports, setting records in events like long jump, high jump, and 400-meter races. She even secured a spot in the nationals at just 9 years old. Her competitive spirit extended beyond sports, competing at the national level in high jump, hurdles, and multi-events, earning multiple records. She pursued a major in communication at the University of Utah, set to graduate in May 2019, marking a significant achievement in her academic journey. During her college years, Lauren formed a close bond with her roommate, Alex. They enjoyed dancing, karaoke, and even tried stand-up comedy together. Lauren was deeply committed to athletics and worked as a communication intern at Cortland Place Senior Home, balancing her passions and community service. She chose to focus on her sports career rather than pursuing commercial sponsorships, which provided her with both fulfillment and a decent income. Lauren's unbreakable connection with her mother Jill remained strong even after she started college. They talked daily, discussing various aspects of Lauren's life, from school to relationships. Jill, a loving mother, always wanted the best for her daughter and understood her deeply. On a September evening in 2018, after a chance encounter, Lauren and her roommate Alex decided to enjoy a night of dancing and drinks at a small club near the University of Utah campus. During that evening, a man named Sean Fields caught Lauren's eye. As the night unfolded, Sean introduced himself, revealing that he worked as a bouncer at the club and was also a student at nearby Salt Lake Community College. At 28, Sean was older than Lauren, who was 21, but they hit it off effortlessly. Sean's charm was evident, and there was a mutual attraction between them. They exchanged phone numbers and quickly arranged to meet again the next day to further get to know each other. Lauren was absolutely smitten with Sean. Lauren's friends noticed how she eagerly shared updates about her new boyfriend with her mother Jill. Jill described how Sean had taken Lauren to dinner, given her flowers, and sweetly asked her to be his girlfriend. Sean, tall, muscular, and an engaging conversationalist, seemed like a great match for the athletic and outgoing Lauren, leading to a serious relationship. As the relationship progressed, red flags started to appear. Sean initially encouraged Lauren to invite her friends to outings, but had specific dress code preferences, often asking her to wear t-shirts and jeans. When Lauren spent time with her friends, Sean would constantly call her, questioning her whereabouts and companions. She was afraid of upsetting him by being late and felt compelled to respond to his texts immediately, even when driving. Lauren would ask Alex to reply quickly to avoid angering Sean. Their phone calls were intense, with Sean starting with a series of demanding questions like, What are you doing? Who are you with? And where are you right now? It was becoming clear that Sean's behavior was becoming more and more controlling. Sean also warned Lauren not to attend parties or hang out with friends downtown, fearing the presence of other guys. Once, when Lauren's phone ran out of battery during a night class, Sean was furious when he called her later, accusing her of cheating. He went to extreme lengths, even giving her a pepper spray and pressuring her to get a gun. He claimed this was due to trust issues stemming from a past relationship betrayal. Despite her concerns, Lauren believed that as the relationship progressed, Sean would change for the better. Unfortunately, this didn't happen, and the situation only worsened within just a month of their relationship. Lauren's friends reached out to the dormitory staff, who had also observed Sean's presence and had concerns about Lauren's well-being. They overheard Sean expressing interest in obtaining a gun for her and noticed changes in her self-care habits. They even suspected that he might be tracking her movements on campus. Despite being a star athlete and an outstanding student, Lauren appeared to be withdrawing from her social circle, and something seemed amiss about Sean. Was he not the person he appeared to be, and did his true intentions remain shrouded in mystery? One day, Lauren stumbled upon Sean's photo ID, only to find out Sean Field wasn't a 27-year-old college student as he claimed. The ID revealed his real name, Melvin Sean Rowland, and that he was a decade older, born in 1981. Melvin was skilled at spinning lies and tall tales to charm women, whether on campus or through dating apps. Lauren, like many others, fell for his act. Discovering his real identity shook her to the core, but Melvin wasn't just a smooth talker. He harbored a dark secret that wouldn't be uncovered until Lauren returned to her hometown of Pullman, Washington on October 5th during her autumn break. At this point, she confided in a friend, sharing the shocking revelation and what she had uncovered. Her friend proposed that they should take some time to investigate Melvin Sean Rowland, a 37-year-old from Salt Lake City, Utah. A rapid internet search quickly unveiled very disturbing news. On July 19, 2004, Melvin was registered as an ex-offender, having been convicted of enticing a minor, which was a serious second-degree felony, as well as attempted forcible sexual abuse, a third-degree felony. He spent 9 years behind bars in the state penitentiary and was released on parole on September 3, 2013. Lauren realized she had to end the relationship and distance herself from this very dangerous man. On October 9th, Lauren called Melvin and he came over as planned. Her friends later told her that the breakup didn't really happen that day as they had intended. Melvin ended up staying the night in Lauren's dorm. She confided in her friends, explaining that Melvin had apologized for lying about his name and told her a story about an incident at a frat party involving a girl who lied about her age. He claimed the other accusations against him were false. After hearing this, Lauren's friends were doubtful and convinced her to end the relationship for real the next day. She did, but not before lending her car to Melvin for the day. Later, she called her mom and explained what had happened, including lending her car. Lauren mentioned that she was supposed to meet Melvin that evening to get her car back. Jill McCluskey, like any concerned parent, became very worried about what could happen that evening, so she contacted the university police department to ask for help in ensuring her daughter's safety while she got her car back.
University Police Car Security, open my house.
Hi, I would like to request some help for my daughter, who's a student at University of Utah, and she started dating this guy there who's like a bad person.
Okay.
And she found out he's a bad person, and she broke up with him, and he has her car. If he was lying to her,
Okay.
and he's actually a sexual offender, I don't want her to go there by herself and have like something bad happen to her. Hello?
Hi, is this Lauren?
Yeah.
Hi, this is University Police. Your ex-boyfriend's dropping off your car. Do you feel comfortable with him doing that? I know your mom was really concerned about it.
I think it's okay.
We have A security officer that's just in charge of escorts tonight. Do you want him to wait with you as well when the car's getting dropped off?
That would be great.
Lauren got her car back without any trouble, and they both went their separate ways. For a couple of peaceful days, she went back to her classes and her normal life. But then, she started getting unsettling messages from numbers she didn't recognize, and they were all about Melvin.
I've been getting these texts about from these numbers of different people. They were saying that he was in the hospital and then saying that that he passed away. But then I got a text from him and he seems to be alive. I got a text about, asking if I wanted to go to his funeral. And I think they're trying to lure me somewhere.
Later that day, as the disturbing texts kept coming in, she decided to call the police once more for help.
Okay, and have you asked them to stop texting you?
I have not, but I've blocked a few of the numbers already.
All right. I will send this through an officer to give you a call. Is that okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Lauren didn't receive a call back from the campus police that day. Instead, she got a text from Melvin's number assuring her he was okay but that something strange was going on. He claimed to have a compromising photo of the two of them and demanded $1,000. He threatened to post a picture online if she didn't comply. This sent Lauren into a panic. The photo featured her face and even posters from her room, putting her entire life's work at risk. Lauren McCluskey, the small-town girl turned track star, felt that this photo could destroy her image. Her achievements, her GPA, and even her very identity were on the line. She was torn between feelings of shame and a simmering anger toward Melvin and herself for getting involved with such men. In a state of panic, she quickly grabbed her phone and sent him the requested money through Venmo. Feeling increasingly convicted that Melvin was the one behind the blackmail rather than some unknown party, the dispatcher contacted University of Utah police officer Miguel Dazes. They shared basic details of the complaint, sensing the need to take their concerns directly to the police department. Lauren and Alex went across campus to meet with an officer in person. Once inside, they sat down with campus police and detailed what had transpired. Their situation became increasingly bewildering as two officers proceeded to question them right there in the police station's lobby. There were no private, closed-door conversations, and the whole process felt rather odd. The officers didn't display a great deal of concern regarding Lauren's circumstances. Instead, they seemed to view it as either a possible scam or an issue with Melvin's phone. In an attempt to clarify the situation, one of the officers checked Melvin's name in the campus directory and mistakenly cited him as a stand-up guy with only a minor parking ticket incident on campus. It turned out they had pulled up the wrong individual from their records, a different student with the same name. Lauren, however, wasn't willing to accept this. Even after revealing Melvin's name and mentioning his status as a registered ex-offender, the officer said she likely wasn't in real danger. With this reassurance, the young woman left, believing they had taken the right steps and that the issue would be addressed. Tragically, as later investigations revealed, nothing substantive was done to resolve the problem. Frustrated by their response, she reached out to the Salt Lake City police, hoping for a more effective outcome.
I'm worried because I've been working with the campus police at the U. And last Saturday I reported and I haven't gotten an update.
Okay.
But someone contacted me today, someone who was harassed, and said that they know everything about the police.
Okay. So you already spoke to the campus police?
Yes, and they haven't updated or done anything.
And what prompted you to call Salt Lake City Police?
Well, I thought it was weird that there are people who know about the entire case and the harassers seem to know about it more than me. And I'm concerned there might be an insider who's letting them know about the case.
Okay. So with some...
Because I haven't gotten an update.
Yeah.
And it's been a week.
Okay. With something like that, you would want to contact the campus police back.
Lauren faced a frustrating runaround between the university police and campus police, both claiming jurisdiction over her harassment case. She waited days for a response from the campus police detective, only to be told they wouldn't be back until October 23rd. When a suspicious text, purportedly from the deputy chief of campus police, arrived on October 22nd, Lauren called to confirm its authenticity, only to discover it was not from the police. Lauren was sure it was Melvin up to his tricks again. Frustrated and feeling unsupported, she reached out to Alex, who inquired if she had informed the authorities. Lauren had, but the response she received was dismissive and unhelpful, leaving her deeply discouraged. After this, Alex never heard from Lauren again. On the evening of October 22nd, around 8 p.m., a distressing incident occurred. Lauren, on her way back from class, was chatting with her mom, who had her dad listening in from another room as he did his yoga. Out of the blue, Lauren cried out in panic, repeatedly saying, "No, no, no." Then, the call suddenly went silent, leaving her parents, Matt and Jill, in a state of sheer panic. Initially, Matt feared there had been a car accident. They continued to call out to Lauren but received no response. It became increasingly clear that something was seriously wrong, and they suspected that Melvin or his associates might have taken her. Matt quickly dialed 911 while keeping the line open, hoping Lauren might return. About 5 minutes later, they heard a woman's voice on Lauren's line, although it wasn't their daughter. It was a medical student on the other end, reporting that Lauren's belongings were on the ground, but Lauren herself was nowhere to be seen. It was a terrifying night for Matt and Jill, who couldn't help but be haunted by past traumas, including their son's life-threatening brain aneurysm from 5 years ago. As they frantically searched for her, Matt clung to the hope that they would find Lauren unharmed. Desperate to save his daughter, he reached out to campus security, but time was slipping away. Melvin forcefully grabbed Lauren, pulled her into a silver Buick, and fired 7 shots at close range. Meanwhile, 911 calls poured in from witnesses nearby. Melvin quickly left the scene, making his way to a light railway stop in Salt Lake City. He calmly made a phone call while waiting for a date he had planned through a dating app. A woman picked him up, and they went out for dinner and a walk around the state capitol building. This was all part of Melvin's plan to create an alibi and escape the crime scene. At the same time, the police were responding, and Lauren's worried parents were trying to find out what had happened. Tragically, around 9:55 p.m., Lauren's coach delivered the devastating news. Lauren's lifeless body was discovered in the car in the parking lot. The moment Jill heard this news, her face revealed the unbearable truth, and Matt, overwhelmed by the emotional impact, was left in a state of shock. Their pain, disbelief, and heartbreak were palpable, expressed through a series of frantic "no, no, no" as they grappled with the harsh reality. Matt felt as though he'd been physically struck by a baseball bat, utterly devastated. A swift police investigation and a review of security camera footage revealed that around 8:20 p.m., Lauren's life took a tragic turn on what had initially seemed like an ordinary day. The police swiftly cordoned off the murder scene and initiated an all-points bulletin to track down Melvin. They were well aware of his potential danger, as they had been repeatedly informed for days about the threat he posed to Lauren. Regrettably, it was now too late to prevent the tragedy, and their focus shifted to hunting down the killer Melvin. Meanwhile, Melvin seemed unfazed, engaged in casual conversations and contemplating his dinner order. Over the following hours, the police conducted an extensive search of the area. Melvin abruptly entered the 130-year-old Trinity AME Church of Salt Lake City, where the police were already aware that he was armed and prepared for a confrontation. They proceeded to search room by room, but before they could make any progress, a single gunshot echoed through the building. Melvin Sean Rowland had taken his own life.
Investigators say 37-year-old Melvin Rowland's body was found at a church in the city's downtown area.
They were chasing him on foot. They chased him to this location after making entry into the church, and officers then coming shortly thereafter and clearing the building. They found our suspect deceased in a room in the church.
The manhunt ended, but it was too late. A young, innocent woman had been killed, and the community started to wonder why simple steps weren't taken to prevent it. They asked how could someone begging for help, providing them with all the information they needed, just basically be ignored? And then came other questions. Why did law enforcement at the campus police department not run even the simplest background check on who Melvin was? Had they done even the simplest check on his background, they would have learned that the man was on parole. Had they even bothered to contact his parole officer, he would have been quickly taken off the streets and put back in jail for making threats and attempting to extort money from Lauren. Melvin had been incarcerated before for violating the conditions of his parole and had a history of making inflammatory statements at his own parole hearings. Every woman I've met or came across, I used my manipulation tactics to get what I wanted. In answer to journalists' questions about whether Melvin could or would have gone back to jail, his parole officer left no doubt that he would have been immediately arrested and returned to jail had the department simply picked up the phone and alerted him to his actions. As the days passed on October 26, the University of Utah's Board of Trustees held a meeting with a primary focus on improving campus safety in the wake of McCluskey's tragic passing. Skipping ahead to March 5th, 2019, something powerful happened. Matt McCluskey, Lauren's father, traveled all the way from Washington to Utah. His purpose was to lend his support to Senate Bill 134, which had a significant aim. The bill sought to compel colleges and universities to develop safety plans and training programs. This legislation was crucial because it aimed to establish a system for sharing information about domestic violence, stalking, and actual assault through the entire state. In the end, what happened to Lauren McCluskey reminds us how important it is to keep campuses safe and support students. Her death shows that colleges and universities need to do more to stop harassment, stalking, and violence. When we think about her story, we need to keep working to make better rules, provide more help, and spread the word so that we can stop similar sad situations from happening in the future. Lauren's legacy tells us that it's crucial to make schools a safer and more supportive place for all students. They should be able to follow their dreams without being